All right, guys, so this is exactly why you shouldn't ignore a P0420 code. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good to see you again.
The other day I changed my spark plug.
Okay, so you changed your own spark plugs on this?
Yes. And when I did, this screw here was not tight, and then this screw back here was not even on there, like, at all. It was just sitting there. I think that might be making my alternator go out. I don't know. I'm
yeah.
a person.
Well, typically that wouldn't.
It's taking a little bit to accelerate.
Let me get your keys from you. Your cover photo for your Facebook is sick. I freaking love it, yeah. That's cool. The thing with these cars is you got to be real gentle to them because the transmission's not too awesome. So like accelerating and things like that, you just have to kind of just be mindful and not be lead-footed on it. Have you noticed your engine light flashing at all? Has it ever flashed on you?
No, it just came on for the first time on Saturday. They did an electrical test, and I also had one done after I did the spark plugs. Only thing that popped up was something about the catalytic converter.
Oh yeah, so notorious. Well, due to the miles on it, it probably does have some catalytic converter issues. See, and that's all I got here is catalyst system efficiency below threshold, and that honestly could contribute to you having so if your catalytic converter starts to get clogged, then it's going to have a restriction on letting all that combustion that's inside your engine escape through your exhaust, and so it'll just build up back pressure basically. It also does damaging things to an engine, you know what I mean? All right, so I'm gonna go through.
It's just fine, let me do it.
Yeah, it's always like that. Yeah, it's always like that.
Every time I'm trying to tell on something, it's like, oh no, it worked just fine.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go through each individual cylinder. So I'm taking it through a health scan. If you don't mind, I'm gonna like drive it down and back a couple times. But I'm just gonna go to the end and back. I just need to get the RPMs cooperating like it's supposed to. It'll tell me, you know, take it to 3,000, take it to 4, drop it back to 2. All right, so far the only thing I got is that there is some restriction from that catalytic converter. So we're gonna go and take this thing on a little test drive. So I definitely can feel what she is talking about. It definitely absolutely has restriction. And for sure, it's taking some gas to get up there, and to me, it's feeling like... All right, so quick rundown. It has no cylinder misfires. It passed its health scan, and the only code that I have is a P0420 code. So here's the deal. This is what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the upstream, and then we're gonna look at the downstream, and we're gonna look at the difference between the two. It'll tell me the specs on here. I'm sure you guys remember the few videos that I did where I put my hand down there by the exhaust and I was just able to tell that there was nothing coming out of it. But here's the deal. You always want to do most of your diagnostics, if you're able to, from the driver's seat with the scan tool, with the live data, because it can be a rabbit hole. Anytime you freaking do diagnostics on a vehicle, it can become a rabbit hole very quickly. And so here's the deal. We've got sensor 1 and we've got sensor 2 here, and they are both, you've got quite a bit of a restriction area. This is indeed a catalytic converter problem. We can try to take it off and clean it, or just clean it with it installed. Cattle clean is kind of expensive, but I mean, there's a lot of options to try here, but it definitely does have a restriction. All right, guys, so this is exactly why you shouldn't ignore a P0420 code. Guys, this thing does have 227,000 miles on it, though. Kind of a lot of miles. Doesn't even wave. What a jerk. See if she waves. She doesn't even look. Boy, did they look happy, though. See, our sensor 1 is doing great. We go to our sensor 2. This is the sensor past the catalytic converter, everybody. It is not doing so hot. It has its moments where it gets a little bit of clarity, but then it drops right back down. This one was an easy one. Yay, we figured it out. Would you like to see? Because it's always fun just to see. Here's the deal. We've got, this is our downstream. So this is our below, this is past the catalytic converter. So what this tells me is that it has a restriction from sensor 1 to sensor 2. There's a few different things we can do. I mean, we put cattle clean in it is probably like the first thing you want to try, because it's just a catalytic converter cleaner, but it's kind of pricey. It's like 40-50 bucks. But if that doesn't work, then the next step would to be take the catalytic converter out and have it like pressure cleaned. And if that didn't work, then you would just have to replace it. In which a lot of times people will just put like a universal one or an aftermarket one in there. Yeah. Here's your keys back. But I mean, I would, if you want my personal opinion, I would put some cattle clean in it.
Where do I put that?
In the gas tank. Yeah, you just pour it all in the gas tank. I've seen it, like, so I've always never been a fan of like cleaners and stuff like that. So I've seen a catalytic converter off of a vehicle dumped, put in a bucket with that Cato Clean in it, just the bottle. And I seen within like 2 hours, and this was at a shop, and I seen within like 2 hours all the crud that was in the catalytic converter start floating. And then when we took it out, we just blew it out with a gun, and it was yeah, spectacular. But then I've done another one where I put it in a bucket, took it out, and I was blowing it, and it just like broke in pieces and stuff.
That in there, and it doesn't really help.
Then I would get the universal. I wouldn't even worry about, because this has got 227,000 on it, so you wouldn't want to try to like reuse that old catalytic converter. I would just replace it. You can get lucky and get a few more miles out of just some Cato Clean. That's the only thing I've seen. You have no misfires.
It means I did my spark plugs right.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, because it passed.
Nothing wrong with that.
I did it 3 times. I went through the cylinders 3 times, and so yeah, it passed each time.
Okay, so in the case that I would have to replace it,
I'll send you a couple. Give me until the evening. I got a couple more things to do, and then I'll send you over universal, and then I'll just take it from there. Yes, ma'am. It was great to see you again.